If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Believe it or not, there's a little path right there. And these are all little thorn bushes that I had to climb through to show you the Grand Canyon. This is a completely different view. I'm about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles away from the campsite. But I know that this is what every nomad gets to do. Every nomad gets to come out here and spend endless days at beautiful sites like this. There's absolutely nothing that prevents you from doing this. You can do it all the time. Every morning you're going to wake up to a beautiful sunrise, a beautiful cliff, the Grand Canyon, the ocean. Well, before we all sell our houses, get rid of our furniture, and get a dog or a cat so we can have this amazing adventure, let's pump up the brakes just a little bit and slow down, and let's think about what I'm going to call this is harsh truths you need to know before you start living the van life. So let's talk about daily needs. Right now, you probably take a shower every day, maybe every other day. Some people take showers twice a day. When you get out here, shower becomes a luxury, not an option. This is one of the reasons Carolyn and I spend so much time looking for campsites that have water. I wanted to maintain some of my humanity. And so then you got to get creative and try to find water, buy water. And when you can only carry about 45 gallons of water, and it's got to last you 2 weeks, some people take a shower that comes close to 40 gallons. Dishwashers. If you don't have a dishwasher, you have a sink that you fill up with water and you put, nice hot water, sudsy water in it. Well, out here, we use about 1 gallon of water a week for dishes. This means that everything that you cook at mealtime, you try to cook in like one pan, so you're not wasting a bunch of water in pots and pans and different things. Carolyn actually has this recipe she cooks. It's spaghetti, and she cooks spaghetti in a frying pan. That way, when she cooks her hamburger, she then uses it to cook her noodles, and it makes a good, solid meal for 2 people. Clean clothes. I have, over the past 2 years, probably bought 3 or 4 packages of these t-shirts. And so what you try to do is you try to limit the amount of heavy clothing that you have. And so, a few t-shirts, because you don't get to do laundry all the time. We try to go to water sites so we can do laundry every time we take a shower. But out here, when we're out in the middle of nowhere like this, you got 2 weeks. You got to really figure out how to conserve your clothes for 2 weeks. Every 2 or 3 days, I change my shirt. Wi-Fi. It is amazing to me how many people understand, okay, I don't need internet when I get out here, but then they do require internet when they get out here, and everybody thinks, well, you just do this. Just the other day, I got on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook in about a week because my internet's not fast enough to open up Facebook. Facebook's the toughest thing to open up when you don't have internet. This guy was on my messenger, and he messaged me 3 or 4 times, and he says, well, if you don't have the respect to reply back to me, I'm not going to watch your YouTube videos anymore. Well, so I lost a subscriber because this guy seems to think that when you come out here, you have unlimited internet. And budget. I've talked about budget a lot. You got to have a budget. You go over budget, you're not going to be doing this very long. Just like anything in life, you spend too much money, you're going to go broke. You're going to, don't have to have rent. No, but somebody just told me the other day to go down to South Rim, which is 9 miles this direction. But in order to get to it, I got to travel around the canyon, which is 200 miles, and then back, be another 200 miles. That'd be about $73 in gas money. Plus all the other things, oil changes, probably have to get a hotel room. So we're talking $300 or $400. Grocery cost is actually more expensive out here than it is in a stick and brick, because in a stick and brick you can buy in bulk and you can store food. You got a large refrigerator. Here we can only store about 2 weeks worth of food, and then we have to go shopping again. So now a lot of people tell me, oh, Rob, you just need to stop worrying about having a plan. And planning is so important. Because as some of the things I've already mentioned, you got to have water, you got to have internet, you got to have be close to resources. We got, because every 2 weeks you got to go shopping, and But a lot of people, no, just go. And, you know, when you get tired driving, just pull off and stop somewhere. Well, you know, you do that, and I can almost guarantee you, you are going to get a 1 a.m. wake-up call. So, you know, you got to plan, and you got to be able to get to a location that you can stay at, and you can enjoy this. Now, I tell you that, but you better be ready for change of plans also, and have a backup plan and another backup plan, and maybe even another backup plan. You know, we were in Texas, and we had planned on spending some more time in New Mexico and Arizona when the weather was a little bit cooler. But we couldn't leave Texas because we kept running into a series of issues. When we got to Texas, we had to replace tires. And so we had to spend another week in an area to get tires. Now, remember, you only get a certain amount of stay limit, so you got to figure all this out. You got to be able to change plans and move around and research. Look, social media is probably the most dangerous thing I have seen for nomads. I've made lots of videos where I say, okay, this YouTuber's made a claim that's not true. This commenter's made a claim that's not true. But what they try to do, and I don't know why they do it, is they try to show you this. Here's the thing. I spent about 2 years trying to get here. As a nomad, I'm a traveler. I live in a car. So logically speaking, you would think, oh, well, he can just drive out to the Grand Canyon. If we'd have came here 2 years ago, we would not have been ready. It would have been very dangerous for us to come out here 2 years ago. We learned how to be nomads, and we researched and studied and understood what it was going to take to stay here. You need to know when it's time to take a break or even quit. You know, Carolyn and I have taken lots of breaks from this. You know, I've spent several months at my mother's house, hooked up to my mom's house, visiting her, which is a nice break. You can go inside, you can eat at a table, watch TV, you can take a shower in a real shower. You know, we've went to Dad's house several times to repair the camper. And so it just makes for a nice rest. And I think if you rest, it keeps your mental health better. At some point, you may say, you know what, I just don't want to do it anymore. And you got to be willing to say, okay, it's time to quit. And in order to do that, you got to have money to get back into a house. Or don't sell your house in the first place. Thanks for watching. Quick like if you like video. And happy travels.